What is up, guys? It's Ozzy here. I just finished watching my Gotham Season 2 finale. I PVR'd this, and sorry I'm a little bit late, but here's my review. So, the first thing I want to talk about is how crazy the story got this season. It was super, super awesome. It felt like it almost got out of hand, but it didn't. It just was perfectly fine with me. The first thing I want to really talk about, though, is the character of Ben McKenzie or Jim Gordon. This guy is ridiculous. Like, honestly, this guy's acting is phenomenal. He plays a perfect hard ass kind of cop slash detective. It's really, really great to watch. I just love his character. Like, he has to deal with his girlfriend being pregnant, moving away. He's got to deal with the bashing of his name. The Riddler framed him. He killed Theo Gallivan. He's guilty, but he's lying about it and saying that he's innocent. And then everyone's slowly kind of hinting towards him being guilty, and he's trying to find like loopholes out of this situation. Overall, his character was just so interesting this season. Like, season one, he wasn't as interesting. This season almost felt like he was the main character instead of like Bruce Wayne, which I thought was a really interesting kind of take for the season. Another huge character I want to talk about is Hugo Strange. Now, this guy was, in my opinion, he was really, really awesome. Like, this character doesn't have any superpowers or anything. His superpower is his mind. And this guy is so smart. He has planned basically every possible situation he could get into. And he just knows exactly what to say, when to say it, who to talk to, and what he needs to know. And I just thought that was so cool to put into this show because you have such an intellectual person like Hugo Strange, and he's basically a mad scientist. And I don't know, he was just such an awesome character. And I'm about to sneeze. Okay, maybe not. This character was just so cool. He's making monsters in his basement at Pine Hill, I think is what it was called. And wow, he was making some fucked up shit in that basement. He's hiding all these crazy people there for like some crazy experiments. He's helping some people, but not really helping them. Like, he helps out Penguin, which I thought this story was really cool. We helped out Penguin, and Penguin gets sent out into the real world, and he seems like he's not crazy or anything. He just seems like a normal guy. Um, but something snaps, and he instantly goes back to being crazy, and that was really cool. Another awesome Batman slash DC character that they introduced was Azrael. Now, this guy is such an awesome character. He is the angel of death kind of thing, and he is part of the Saint Dumas family. And the way that they made him present in the show, personally, I loved it. Like, having Theo Gallivan be dead, being brought back to life as this kind of angel of death or knight of death, I thought that was really, really awesome. Like, when people saw him without his mask on, like, they were terrified. They were like, this guy died. How is he alive? And I just thought that added to his character and made him even more mysterious and kind of scary. Another thing I want to say about him is his costume was really, really cool looking. It wasn't, I would say, exactly how the comic books look, but it was pretty close. Like, it had the red and he had like swords and stuff. It was really, really cool. I love that character. That was such a phenomenal character. We also got introduced to new characters such as like Firefly, Mr. Freeze. We finally got to see Ed Nigma snap and just take on his full Riddler persona, which I love this guy as Riddler. Like, if they could get him to be in a DCU movie, like a Batman movie as Riddler, I would totally be down for that. Like, this guy he's nailed Riddler. Like, I've never seen someone nail Riddler this good. Also, in this season, we got to see Bruce Wayne's story kind of fold out even more. He gets leads to who killed his father, but it's actually wrong. We see him like become frustrated, and it's just so awesome to see character development because in Batman movies, we just see him as Batman. We never see him as a child and like the trauma and all this destruction to his life happening and how it affects him and how it shapes him. We just kind of see him as the finished product in most of the Batman movies. And I just really love this TV series because it really gives that backstory to his kind of motive and drive to why he becomes Batman and kind of like his mentality. And I just really, really like it. I really love the actor who plays Bruce Wayne, which is David Mazouz or Mazouz, not too sure how to pronounce that, but he actually looks like Ben Affleck. Like, there's a picture on Instagram, and it shows him side by side, and they actually look like they're the same person. Like, if David were to grow up, he would most likely look something like Ben. And that's really, really awesome how they casted it so perfectly. And I just love this guy as Bruce Wayne. And you can really tell how his anger is kind of building up throughout each episode. And I really hope that Gotham lasts really, really long, that he could maybe even be like 20 or something, and they could maybe even do the part where he goes away and trains and learns combat styles and so on. I think that would be just awesome because I don't think they're going to show that kind of aspect to his life in the new Batman movies. So it'd be really cool if the TV series could do that for the movie, which I think that'd be awesome. So overall, I would say this season improved so much from the first season. We got introduced to crazy comic book characters of Batman, and it's really cool how we see them become those villains in this season. Personally, I think the ratings were a little off on the first season, but I definitely think they're going to pick up with this season of like the rising of the villains. I think that's going to be a huge factor as to whether or not a lot of people will stay tuned for season 3. At the end of this season, we saw like there's a lot of like monsters or super powered people on the loose, which I think that's really cool, and it's really great how we saw Fish Mooney come back too. So yeah, I'm assuming season 3 is all going to be about how Jim Gordon, Harvey, the GCPD, and Bruce Wayne kind of deal with all these people on the loose, and I'm guessing the majority of the season is going to have to do with these characters, and I really hope we see some kind of huge comic book characters that came out of that bus at the end of the episode. My brother was saying something about Killer Croc, which I highly doubt is going to happen, but it's possible. So yeah, leave a comment below of what villains do you think we're going to see in season 3. Are you going to continue to watch it? Because I know I definitely am, and I'm a big supporter of the Gotham TV show. A lot of people don't really like it for some reason, but I think it's really cool to have a backstory to like the movies we watch, and I don't know, I just really love this show. So without further ado, my rating of this season is going to be an A-. And this is mostly because like there still were some kind of episodes, like some episodes feel really repetitive, like they almost don't even need to be there. But there are a lot of episodes, like I'd say maybe like 10 to 15 episodes that were really, really intriguing, and I really, really like them. Some were a little boring, but it's okay because the next week was really good. The villains was a huge part for me because I love a lot of these villains, like Mr. Freeze. I love that villain. Firefly was a female character, but it was the same idea, so it's not like it really matters who plays it, if it's a guy or a girl. And I think she's going to do really well because she's brainwashed by Hugo Strange to kind of be like a killer, and it's going to be a really cool story with Selena Kyle and her her friend that's kind of crazy now. But yeah, leave a comment below if you agree with my rating or not. What would you give it? And what was your favorite part of this season? Like, I think my favorite part of this season was probably the Azrael episodes or the Mr. Freeze kind of origin. I thought those episodes were phenomenal. Leave a comment below of what yours were. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys.